During 1192 to 1868, the Emperor of Japan was largely powerless. The real power was rested with the military leader, the shoguns. They established a military government known as the Shogunate government. During the last shogunate regime, Tokugawa Shogunate, the shogun's mother, his wife, his concubines, and thousands of female servants lived in a place called the Ooku. The Ooku was built inside the Edo castle in 1607 by Tokugawa Iemitsu, who passed a special law to separate the residents from the outside world. By this law, women living in the Ooku could not leave without permission. No man could enter the Ooku except the shogun. The shogun entered the Ooku through a corridor called Otsuzuroga, the Great Bell Corridor. It was named by the custom of ringing bells to signal the entrance of the shogun. The system had lasted for nearly 200 years. In 1623, the 19-year-old Tokugawa Iemitsu succeeded as the third shogun of the Tokugawa dynasty. He married Takashi, the daughter of one of the largest noble families. In 1625, the wedding was officially held. His wife then moved to the Ooku afterwards. As the marriage was purely for political reasons, the relationship was not good from the beginning. Soon after the marriage, Takashi moved out from the Ooku. She was given a new place in the Edo castle and was placed under house arrest for a long time. Rumor has it that the shogun was interested in male, causing the martial disharmony. He also had no concubines and no heirs for a long time. The shogun's wet nurse, Lady Kasuga, who was also his political advisor, was very concerned about the lack of successor. So she started to arrange girls to enter the Ooku to serve the shogun. They included Ofuli. Rumor has it that Ofuli pretended to be a man to attract the shogun's attention. Later, she successfully became his first concubine. In 1637, she gave birth to his first daughter when the shogun was 33 years old. When the baby girl was only 2 years old, she was married off to the heir of the Owali's family. However, after giving birth to the child, Ovuli's health grew worse and she died in 1640, the year after her daughter got married. Later, one day, when the wet nurse went to a temple in Asakusa to pay homage, she met a girl in a second-hand clothing store. She was Olaku. Olaku's beauty immediately caught her attention. She then brought her to the Ooku to serve the shogun. Soon afterward, Olaku became the shogun's favorite concubine. In 1641, she gave birth to a son, Iezuna, who was the eldest son of the shogun. The shogun was already 38 years old, so he was very excited to have a successor. Also, as a reward, Olaku's family was treated very well. Her younger brother became the adopted son of the Zoyama clan and was granted territories. Her younger sister was married to the son of the daimyo of the Suruga kingdom. Soon, a new concubine entered the Ooku. She was Oman. Oman met the shogun in 1639 in a temple where she was still an abbess there. When the shogun saw her for the first time, he was already attracted. Later, Oman returned to secular life. She changed her name and became the shogun's concubine. At first, she was kept in another residence until her hair grew longer. Afterwards, she moved to Ooku. She was favored by the shogun. Legend said it was not until the shogun met Oman he began to have feelings for women. Oman also fell in love with the shogun, but she never bore a child. Because of his love for Oman, the shogun also promoted her younger brother to a higher military position. He also allowed her to manage the Ooku's affairs and became the ruler of the Ooku. Since then, the shogun began to take the maids in the Ooku as his concubines. One of them was originally the maid of Oman. She was Odama. Odama was born in Kyoto in 1624. After her mother remarried, she became the adopted daughter of the new family. According to legend, she was sold to a brothel by her adoptive father. Later, she ran away to a temple and became a worker there. At that time, the abbess of the temple was Oman. When Oman entered the Ooku, she volunteered to follow her and became her maid. Soon Otama became the shogun's concubine as well and gave birth to a boy in 1646. He was Junayoshi. Besides, the shoguns also took 2 maids of his wife as concubines. One was Alisa, who gave birth to a son in 1647, but the baby died a year later. There was minimal record about her. Another one was Onatsu. She was originally the maid of the shogun's wife and was later promoted to a position that she served the shoguns when he had a bath. The shogun liked her and eventually took her as his concubine. When the shogun was 41 years old, Onatsu was pregnant. As people at that time believed that 41 was an unlucky number, the shogun decided to let his eldest sister to adopt the child. Soon afterwards, Onatsu also moved to the palace of the shogun's sister. In 1644, she gave birth to a son, Tsunashige. The shogun also had a concubine called Odoko since 1641, but there was no detailed record about her. We only knew that she did not have any children. In 1651, the shogun died. Among his 3 sons, the eldest son, Tokugawa Iemitsu, became the 4th shogun, but his mother, Odaku, passed away in the next year at the age of 32. Onatsu's son, Tokugawa Tsunashige, became the lord of Kofu domain. Otama's son, Tokugawa Tsunayoshi, became the lord of the Tatebayashi domain. After the death of the shogun, his wife and most of his concubines became a nun. His wife became a nun and was given 50 gold and some tools as a keepsake only. In 1664, she went to Kyoto and met with the retired emperor. She took the opportunity to return to her family, but her father already died 3 years ago. She finally died in 1674 at the age of 72. After the shogun passed away, only the shogun's favorite concubine, Oman, did not become a nun. It was said that she changed her name and continued to work in the Ooku. However, in 1657, a fire broke out in the Edo castle, so Oman took refuge in a temple. She lived long and died in 1711 at the age of 88, but her later life was not recorded anywhere. On the contrary, many young concubines became a nun, including the 29-year-old Onatsu. Onatsu's son, Tsunashige, died young in 1678, leaving his own young son. In 1680, the 4th shogun, Iemitsu, died without an heir. Onatsu believed her grandson should be the most suitable successor in terms of seniority, but in the end, he was not chosen. Eventually, Otama's son, Tokugawa Tsunayoshi, became the 5th shogun a year later. With regret, Onatsu passed away in 1683 at the age of 61. Otama, as the mother of the 5th shogun, was arranged by the shogun to live in the Edo castle and was able to regain power. It was said that the shogun was influenced by Confucianism, so he trusted and respected his mother. Not only did he let his mother intervene in politics, but he also trusted a strange monk favored by his mother. In 1702, Otama was given the highest female official position. 3 years later, she died at the age of 82. Her son Tokugawa Tsunayoshi continued to rule until he died in 1709.